Alright, welcome back to Nioh. I'm your pal Slowbeef. With me, of course, my good friend Nobody. It's just me. Doc is busy tonight. So I say screw it. Then let's go finish some stuff we hadn't finished before. It looks like we got everything in the Kyushu region, the Chugoku region, and Kinki though. Kinki we don't have. We do have one Twilight mission, but we've already beaten it. So what do we got here? Greater demon hunting. What is this? Apparently truly terrifying demon, such monstrous power. One of the great demons. What do you say? Yeah. So here's the deal, of course, with these call-in shows. I have a Discord. If you join, there's some voice channels there, like the public hang zone or on air or anything. I'll consider you in the queue. I'm sorry, the public hang zone or something. Just go there, and I'll drag you into on air. But if I die, you're done. You're out. That's the end. I do have a nice wooden Nodachi, though. And what's that? What are you? Onryoki! No, with no, Schmarson says, can I hang out in the public hang zone but not be picked? Yeah, okay. Absolutely. A little weird without the wait, who the hell's Kinki? That's some dude fighting. It's a rad dude. Alright, Kinki, I don't typically do co-op. Two lights give me The thing about Onryoki is he's like a roadblock boss when you start this game, and then I shouldn't say too much because he does hit very, very, very hard, like to the point where I'm like, can I possibly be under leveled for this? But sorry, one sec. If you're in Discord right now, just give me one moment to assist. Wait, let me just save this person here. You handle this. Don't forget also $3 in bits or money or whatever. You not only get to you can change my weapon or force me to pop a revenant. You're okay. I'm sorry, who are you? You don't need money. Just hang out then. This guy's armor is as weird as fuck. Let's see here. That's the Hammer Man, says Lady Pure. I don't remember him. The only real Hammer Man I know is MC Hammer, I guess. Let's see here. Outstanding. Ah, here we go. Sakata Kintoki. I'm dead now. What? Playing Japanese demons. I don't understand. He's dead? Apparently, Fossilized Rappy is saying, since Doc's not around, I'll be a half-bit replacement. Kintoki is the new name taken by the super strong Japanese folk hero Kentaro when he enters adulthood and joins the service of similarly legendary super samurai Minamoto Yorimitsu. That's what you got, the Fallen on Nioh mages. Where's Mount Hiei, by the way? Falling snow. Mount Hiei, the previous level, because there's also okay, Onyo Mage. Mount Hiei is a Crewley location. Ah, there it is. Okay. Because there's a... Let's see. There's a trophy here, I think, right? Oh, we can get the trophies later. So, there's a trophy here I was going to say. Wait, what did I do? I think I already done this mission. Hold on a sec. I think I fucked up. Trophy. Yeah, there's a trophy in that Hiei level for beating Nioh, right? You could go for that. I fucked up, yeah. I don't need new items, just I think I want the Himorogi branch. All right, we got Patty B's here. How you doing, Patty? Give Patty a moment or two to get microphone set up and everything. Fallen Onmyo ages. Let's see. Swing fiends. All right, so we have to get rid of some evil mages who turn to the dark side. Oh, I'm not in on air. I'm an idiot. There. Can you hear me now?
Oh, all right. I see. Yep. Hey.
Sorry. I was actually not in my own chat, which is a usually an important part of being in there. But listen, we're on Mount Hiei. We're looking for some evil mages, you know.
As
Hold
you
up.
do.
Let me lower the volume just a little bit. And I need a lot of Amrita for the next level. So, what have you been up to?
Oh, mostly just playing Sekiro.
Can you do you have anything to turn up your microphone, by the way?
I don't know. Let me see.
It's not a huge deal, but I got lucky there.
Output volume. I can see. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps.
Oh, okay.
You've been playing Sekiro?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot.
It's pretty good. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I really like from like design of enemies and things like that.
Shit. Yeah, I do too. Sorry, I just there's a Raven Tengu and a Wizard. Yikes, and a Lost Soul. All right, so if you have anything to plug, now's a good time because.
Nah, really.
Cool.
But Killer MC's channel. Check him out.
Killer MC's channel is good. It's Killer MC is an EMCEE, like an MC, not like the two letters.
Exactly.
Not like Billy MC, right? It's like
No relation there, as
Not at
far
all.
as I know. Who knows, maybe his abilities are better.
Can everybody hear Patty okay, by the way? Just curious. I legit thought it was a Billy MC fan channel, apparently. Yes, okay. People can hear you then. Cool. Awesome. So anyway, I'm fighting a Raven Tengu. I don't like them because... Well, I mean, I like them. I think they're good enemies. They're just scary as hell. They're hard, you know?
Yeah, they take a good bit to get used to.
Yeah. I mostly like the combat. I will say last night kind of soured me on Nioh a little bit just because... I don't know if you saw any of it, but...
Yeah, I saw it. I think... So I like the combat in Nioh. I think it gets a little bit bad when things start killing you in one hit.
Yeah. Last night's boss was definitely, like, the worst boss I've seen in the whole game so far. You know, and I think, like, well, like, a lot of these games have, like, you know, bad bosses per se. It's not like they're all perfect, but, like, yeah, it was frustrating. And, that said, you know, hey, shit happens. But, yeah, and I also was thinking about it a lot, and a lot of bosses, it seems like, have these sort of insta-kill moves, you know?
Right.
And that's a little tricky. I'll just take a bath really quick, you know? So,
yeah. Oh, go on?
No, it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't exactly understand the appeal of... The biggest thing that I think is, when you have an instant kill move, I don't think you ever should really have it, but I definitely think you should be able to punish pretty harshly.
Yeah.
If, like, they do that, you know? It should be a good give and receive.
Absolutely. Because if I have, like, some crazy move that could, like, take off most of a boss's health, like, you could be damn sure if I missed on it or something, you know, I would be screwed.
Right.
But, yeah, they're a little... Last night was Gasha Dokoro, yeah. I feel like, you know, he had some issues that could have been addressed, perhaps, but whatever.
He was cool looking, but...
Definitely cool looking. And the notion of, like, a boss that, like, the whole level revolves around, where it's, like, you have to destroy those crystals, and it's, like, he spotted you, which is, like, I think kind of cool, but, like, wow. But, yeah, I think there were just some issues with it, you know, that we could have fixed.
I think in general, like, if you're having trouble making a boss or something, it's better to go easier than harder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I totally agree.
So he had some moves where, like, you one-shot you.
Yeah. It might have been a little silly to living weapon one of these tongue guys, but truthfully, I don't have any good moves on them, so fuck it. We'll just do that, yep.
No, I think it's always better to use living weapon than not.
I 100% agree.
So you're getting through this level pretty fast, pretty well.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I am a complete expert at all things Nioh, but I also like I did do this before, unfortunately for me. You know, like, or I should say, I'm a little like over leveled too. I think it's the big one.
Yeah.
Might as well top off. I have plenty of elixir. But
I almost got every achievement in this game, and I just kind of gave up with like 2 left.
oh no, that's scary.
Yeah, I'll probably just go back one day.
Wonder, yeah, 'cause now you got me curious with what are the ones that you gave up on, unless they're spoilery.
Yeah, let me think. I don't think they were the hardest ones. Oh, that's it. It's like, this DLC missions, and it's like, beat something at a certain difficulty level.
Gotcha. You know, I mean, technically to platinum the game, they don't count the DLC, of course, you know, if you want the literal platinum trophy, but...
Yeah,
But, you know, who cares about that?
Who cares? Only losers, right?
Exactly.
Only a big fool would make it they go on to platinum.
A
12
game.
games.
Absolutely. Stupid. Here. Someone who's never accomplished anything of worth and import in their life. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm gonna send that elixir right to the storehouse. Oh, here we go. Who's in here? There we are. Look at that. Look at all you jerk mages. Oh yeah, here we are. Perfect. That. Oh, you destroyed the crystal, and then they're just like, "We're sorry, we surrender." Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, do that very quickly. Crystal just snapped in two.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, paired Riken's doing me great, by the way. Fossilized Rappy. What was your favorite?
So, I used, I don't know if you have it yet. There's a bowl.
A bowl?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
I can't remember when you get it or why, but that was the guy I went with.
You're saying a bowl, like a bowl that holds like salad or soup or something.
Oh no, B-U-L-L. Like
a bull. I have that one. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I haven't used it. No. My fault.
Ah, that's
The missing catalog. What's this one?
it would be
Secret scroll.
awesome if you just had a bowl.
Got it. All right, let's get a secret scroll. What do you say?
Why not?
Sure. Exactly. Yep. Nobody's died yet. You know, so we're all good. Apparently, Fossilized Rappy said my favorite guardian species is extremely a spoiler for later.
Oh.
Let's do it then. Not Hiei. Maybe while we're here, not in this mission, obviously, but maybe in the next one, we'll, it's like, what the heck? Why don't we go ahead and kill that Nioh for the achievement while I'm thinking about it? But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I believe in you.
I don't know why. Should I switch to spears? Say screw everything? Or should I switch to a different weapon, maybe?
I think it's best, yeah, since you kind of feel overpowered, to just
Alright,
play
then.
around with different weapons.
Alright, let's do Oni's. Oh, let's go that Sakan's guy's spears. What the heck?
Yeah. And I think it has lightning on it, so.
Yeah, there you go. Merciless Barrage. I keep forgetting about Merciless Barrage. Alright. Who's gonna fight us? Who's first? What's in here? I have questions. Let's take the underground path. What the hell? What's usually here? Wizard Pit, I think?
Yeah. I mean, as a tourist, William should take every path he can.
Damn!
Yeah.
That's fun. You're not even gonna get up, pal? Really? Well, fine.
He tried to skate by.
Yeah, this is going pretty well already. We have the sad platoon music happening too, for whatever reason, but Take this item. Oh, what did I? Oh wow, 3 guys, huh? Or 3 skeletons. That's fine.
One thing I wonder is, I don't really know Japanese history. This game seems to use some of it.
Yeah.
So much so that I think I don't really understand a lot of the significance of some reveals. Like a character shows up and it's like, it seems like I'm supposed to be like, oh, this guy. But
Yeah, right.
who it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, because they're like, Mitsunari, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Like, I wonder if I missed something in the story. I think it's just history I missed.
I feel like, they could, I wonder if they could do this with, like, be like George Washington and, like, a demon or something,
That was pretty awesome. You see him fighting that, apple tree, or what was it?
It's a cherry tree, right?
Cherry tree, that's it.
Yeah. Might as well use the big weapon, actually, because I have tons of it.
He bites you with his wooden teeth.
There you go. Yeah, I think Okatsu is the only character in the game. I think Doc said that. That is not historic, or not a person's history. There we go. But that's okay.
Yeah. He's a good boss.
There you go.
I wish I could jump around like her.
Yeah, she's got some good shit going. There we go. Oh, that's right. She's a Koei staple. Yes. Based off a historical figure. That I did not know. All right, we are really kicking some ass here. So I'm not even sure what the sub boss or the mini boss or whatever is going to be, but
Yeah, probably something like that.
yikes! Somebody shot me with a cannon. That ain't good. All right. I love that. I love the stomp to stun him and then the helicopter.
Yeah,
Thanks for
the little
joining
claw
us.
was great.
Here.
Oh, hey. Thanks, GeoFixer. A sub 2 sub.
You're very having trouble with that pole.
That's yeah. You'd think the spear would be ow. So I friggin' wrap my hand into my desk. You'd think the spear would, hey, you dick, would have gotten around that pretty easily. Is the words I was trying to say. Is this the scroll here? No. Now the thing is heading. There's a line this way. Oh, I'm gonna have to go down here, aren't I? What is that thing? Uh-oh. You said Bakemono, I heard. Monster. Oh, yeah, you?
Huh, that was right.
Yeah. Oh, dear. There's two of these guys now.
I do wonder if you put lightning on your lightning sphere, does it give extra damage, or?
Is there just more lightning, or is it just like, alright, that's enough lightning, come on.
Yeah.
So I received the title One Eye Oni Cutter. Nice. Tell you what, let's go to titles quick here. I have 4 prestige point. Geez, alright, so let's add durability of moving weapons. Versus Yokai Realm's a good one too. More luck, yep. And yeah, sure. Then we get human combat close. Item drop rate, why not? Toughness, sure. What's your effect on life? There we go. And then what else do I have? Do I have skills to learn? I have 2 points. Up to kick. I don't like kick really, but parries an attack and knocks them down. Oh, nice. All right, that's while guarding. Let's do that. Cool. Yeah. So mid stance.
I never really did parry, so I'd be interested to see if they're good or not.
Yeah, same.
I have no idea, you know.
Here. Right now, Lady Pure. The Katsu is based off of a Shoin, who is a concubine of Tokugawa Ieyasu, who is the lord we are technically serving. Okatsu is his daughter in Nioh.
It's a little bit of an odd twist.
Yeah. Don't look at me. Let's see here. So we can level up. Good news. Work of a ninja slain by a demon. Let's go back from guide to making weapons. Yep. I know someone who can read that. That's a blacksmithing text. I'm not here. You have any samurai locks? I do have samurai locks, actually. I always forget to eat those. All right, this is pretty good. I'll take body. Right there. What do we got next? What should I do? Go achievement hunting or go with more submissions? Or dojo?
Let's say dojo at first.
Okay, let's do dojo. What do we got here? The invincible here. What is this? Oh, axe. There we are.
Yeah.
Get the sumo move. Okay.
There's some pretty great gestures in this game.
I'm happy to get some more gestures. Let's do it. Over Sanzu. All right. He gets staggered by the axe, so that's gonna make this a lot easier than I thought it would be, honestly. But he's already like a third down.
Yeah. He looked kind of heavy enough to like not be staggered, but
He felt that, he said. I don't think has he hit me? Actually, he did hit me with a couple of light attacks, yeah.
I do always find that funny in video games when, you know, you're kicking a boss's ass and they have a line like, "Is that the best you can do?" It's like, yeah.
I do have to appreciate, at least in the game, like they do seem to have like that map better context. Like when I was kicking Giant Toad's ass, you know? Yeah. I feel kind of bad because I'm not dying. But that's the rules. Sorry, folks in the chat. I hope you're having fun talking and shit, but it's been a good run so far. All right, impressed. Waiting return wherever you wish. Mystic Art Axe has been unlocked? What does that mean? There.
Dude, I think...
I saw it. Beating the Grand Weapon Trial unlocks the Expert skill, which is extreme right of a skill tree.
Yeah.
Party next technique. Let's see. Let me see if I can beat this guy. This Hattori Hanzo guy. With ninjutsu.
Dojos are pretty good because they let you test out different items and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I almost beat the whole game before I realized, though, that, like, there's something you should do. Like, I didn't even notice the dojo got new missions because I just didn't check it out.
Wonder why I have a spear.
Is that the weapon you were using before?
Yeah, no, it's a wooden one. I mean, I don't know if they like picked spear because they're like, oh, you're using a spear, so obviously that's your normal weapon of choice in this fight.
Yeah, I can't really remember. I think ninja tools are normally the top.
Yeah, no, yeah, there's definitely ninja tools available. I'm not sure if I need them, but...
Oh, like, what I meant is the ninja weapon is normally, like, the top.
I don't know, Hattori, I think your old man was a lot better at this, if we're being honest.
To be fair, his old man is, like, I don't know, 20 feet tall.
Yeah. No time for wool gathering.
He has a little bit of a height advantage.
Mm-hmm. Also, cool pipe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, equipment's all chosen by the mission, apparently. Alright, so what should we do? Another submission? We just clear out Kinki region entirely, if we can?
Is that how you say it?
Kinki? Yeah. Well, actually, it's like Kinki, you know.
Oh, okay.
Like, but, you know, pretty close, I think. Oh, there's a new mission. There's a new dojo mission. But you know, let's go for the real thing. Go disappearing Ranjatai. Ranjatai is the most fragrant incense. It seems fragments in a cemetery. He wants a piece of... Okay, this guy wants some wood that cut Nobunaga, apparently, so fuck it.
That guy has a wonderful beard.
Yeah, beautiful facial hair combo all around. Whoever that guy who I forgot who he is.
It's like a lion's mane, you know? It's so majestic and natural.
Absolutely. Like we lost some frames before. I apologize, but hopefully things are good. I had my ISP guy come, and he was really nice and really helpful and stuff. So it was like, I think I know what your problem is. So he thinks he fixed it. Let's find out together, though.
Let's find out. Yeah, I have noticed a few, but nothing that really affected watching.
Like a normal streamer's like issues, I hope, you know, where it's like just an occasional like kind of thing that happens, but
Yeah.
not like. Here. There we go. Then that elixir to the storehouse and
An elixir save is an elixir on.
exactly right. Open this chest and nothing. They're very you know I can't think of the name of the badger, the like mimic, the chest mimic kind of badger.
Oh yeah, it's not a yeah, I can't really remember. Because it was a different type than I think we thought it was a tanuki, right? But
Yeah, it's not a
that.
tanuki. Mujina, thank you.
Yes.
The game is very like sparse with them. You know what I mean? Like you don't see a lot of them.
Yeah.
This is a new section of the map, right? No, it's not. I'm being wrong. I'm totally wrong.
Pretty much.
We just didn't come here. That one mission with the Tunmoman as the sub-boss. Anyway, sorry.
Man, I love when you can kill two dudes at once.
Absolutely. On the same spear, no less.
Just rip through them, yeah.
Oh, are there like multiple things I have to go for? Is that the idea? Maybe?
Yeah, I think it's in a random
You know,
chest.
speak of the devil. Okay. Easy. Very nice. Thank you. Oh, what? Oh. Alright, mission complete. That's fine.
Yeah, I think the idea of this mission is that there's like 4 chests, and it's randomly in one of the 4 chests.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. And I just got lucky the second time.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Some of the missions are kind of throwaways.
This is Ranjantai. Respite's a scrap of wood. Take your reward.
Take it.
I will. Alright, then let's go to demon hunting, I guess, right? Yeah, sure thing, Nemosa. You can leave this in my hands. It's fine. No deaths yet.
I know.
It's, what do you call it? 30 minutes in. I mean, again, granted, over leveled, but still, you'd expect something. What's going on with this?
Yeah, it's not, even over level, you can very easily die.
Yeah.
It's not.
Also, we're using a weapon. We're not even using my favorite weapon. But let's do it. I think. Do I have any living weapon? No. Oops. All right. What we got here? This level. All right, this guy. These guys. Get rid of this. Lost soul. Alright, he's down. There we are. Going you down. Lost soul down. What else we got? Oh, another lost soul. That's fine too. Alright, good. We're all no, we're not. Another lost soul. Okay. Hey.
So many faces to punch.
So many faces to punch, exactly. Ninja Oni, here we go. Now who's next? Okay, we're through 2 sections of the. We're on section 2 of the field, I think. Wow, yeah, 1 Oni down already. One of them's like already halfway done, and I didn't even know I was fighting him. I stomped and this guy's arm is gone. This is going well. Going well. One Yudo and that second one Yudo behind me? Yes it is. Alright. Let's review things. I hope I'm not gonna regret using a living weapon there, but I might. I think I will actually. So we can come back. So, yep. Sorry, I'm just kind of talking to myself here out loud. It's fine, whatever. Okay, gone.
Kind of John Madden in it.
Yeah. There you go. Alright then. Whoa, this is new. There's like a whole water part of this.
Yep.
Aha. On Ryoki.
Yeah, really, once they became okay with using it as a regular enemy, they just say put them in everywhere.
Yeah. You know, there was a time in my life too when I would have said like, oh my god, on Ryoki as a regular enemy, how will I ever deal? But
Grown so much.
Really, it's been a long journey from Ireland to Japan, or England actually, I guess technically. Ooh, okay, I did not dodge that well.
Yeah, it's funny. Onryoki with those iron balls are the most dangerous thing.
There you go. That's another level down. Let's see here. I think actually that might be it for Kinki region. Or Kinki.
I like the first way, Kinki.
Kinki region, yeah. It's a little off kilter. Jeez, what the heck? They call me the Red Oni, but what might be okay. Alright then, let's continue. Oh, here we go. The Red Oni of the E. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna battle this guy.
Yep.
Alright then.
He's a tough one.
Uh-oh. This might be where we part ways, possibly. Unless I'm still very overleveled, but... Alright, this time I'm gonna grab a wood odachi. And I'm also going to equip... Do I have anything better than the wood odachi? Oof, poison. Yikes, this one's pretty great. Yakimara. Ooh, he's fast.
Yeah, this is one of the core side missions, because you actually fight someone new.
Yeah. Not bad, he says.
I do like when they're just into it, complimentary.
Yeah, me too. When it's like, yeah, obviously like a yeah, Munishige was kind of like that too.
Yep. Just pound around, hitting each other with sticks.
Exactly. Yeah, that was not hard. Wow, I like his outfit though.
Yeah.
Good guy. Oh, look at this, and something's happening.
我が母直虎との縁がゆえか拙者に誉れ高き赤備えを任せてくださる
I mean, I like my armor personally, but that is some good shit.
その真に応え
Yeah, there's some pretty nice looking armor in this game.
Absolutely.
Which one do we have on now? Is it just a demon's face?
I forget. I'm gonna take a look.
I remember the lion's mane. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
The very phallic shaped helmet. It's just huge.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
A nice cat. Perfect. Meow. What do we got? All right, so let's see. I think, is that it for Kinki region, possibly? Kinki?
So is this one island behind where you're at?
2, actually.
2.
Yeah.
I do think it's a pretty good idea to go back to these islands, like
It's fun. Yeah. It's
an island or 2 ahead.
All right, let's go to the Yokai region now. We're 1 island behind, rather. All right, so what do we got? Now we got some higher level missions here. Withered grass and yokai. 5 things. Go for it. Let's go with withered grass and yokai. What the hell?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Muckfuzzer says this map's pretty big. Well, I agree, but
It's a pretty great name.
Muckfuzzer?
Yeah.
I like that name. It's a good one. Oops. Yeah, here we are. So this is... apparently this is right around where Valley Forge lived, too. Uraga in Tokyo Bay. Alright, skeleton. Yeah, this guy seems a little more level appropriate. He didn't die, like, immediately, so...
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Let's go back to spear for a little bit. Oh, and I should... Alright, the next break I get in fighting enemies, I should remember to eat some samurai locks and look for mindless barrage or whatever the hell it's called. There it is. Let's see here. Where are some samurai locks? Master samurai locks. I'll eat those. Ooh, I'll eat some mage locks. Why not?
Do you think he still gets the benefit of the locks if he coughs them up like a cat?
Must, right?
Yeah, I can't see all the hair going through.
No.
Let's be real here, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Stop effing
Let's
around
be
here.
a little serious about this.
Yeah. Come on now. What is this one? Shove an opponent using spear's shaft while guarding. Wait. Oops. It was okay. Which one is this? Merciless barrage.
Nice.
Yep. I will take that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, we're gonna take that one. Mid-low stands, kick. Yeah. I'll unlock it just to get the next thing, but I'm not assigning it because I don't like kick. All right then. Yeah, this is the Twilight. I did the Twilight version of this apparently. Wait, how's that possible though? You have to clear the real mission first, or?
I don't think so. You only have access to it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, if I already had the Twilight mission access, then I'm not... I would say I'm not too worried, because I remember that being a nightmare, but, you know.
Yeah, this mission, you did it pretty quickly, honestly. I remember having a lot of trouble with the Twilight version.
Well, thank you. I hope that... Go up here. Oh, yep. All right, that's that music there. That's that guy down. I still have a living weapon, fortunately, too.
Yeah.
What did they get killed by?
I don't know if the enemies are any different. Like, they might do that same trick with the two real monks and the summoner.
Well, the Twilight version had 2 of these guys, right?
Right. Well, it had one. It didn't have 2 at first. They had 1 at first and then 2.
I'm not sure what this guy got stuck on, but I'll take it. Try it. Oh, it had 1 then 2 later. So yeah, I fucked up. Now it's okay. All right then. Okay, so let's get a hit and run strategy going. There, grab. Okay, good. All right, if I could do the Twilight version of this, then I'm not. Okay, there we go.
Just don't get caught.
No, I got caught too, but oh dear. One down.
Do you think they clean themselves with their tongue? Like a cat?
I don't think they clean themselves at all. Well, alright, that's not fair. Maybe these jerks, fights are dropping frames a little. Oh, there's nothing after this. Okay, we're done.
Oh, I see. So that final round was the Twilight part.
Yeah.
The one with the 2 real monks.
Yeah, so they just added that part. Alright. Let's see here. We had some frame drops right at that fight, unfortunately. So, I don't know what the hell's going on here. All right, I can work on the yokai. All right, 2, 3, 4 more to go. Fiercer Flame, Yokai Hamazimit, 7 good tidings. What the hell? All right, let's go with this. A Fiercer Flame. What is that? Next up, Magatama, you brought it. Learn to control the power of fire. Hanzo Soon's ego future. Go. All right, I have to get the blacksmith guy again. I don't know what this means.
He's always just wandering somewhere, that dude.
Oh shit, is this the ninja house again?
It's the ninja house.
Yeah. I'm seeing like toads around, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
Who do
ninja
you
house.
think is the rival frat of Ninja House?
Any samurai house?
That even makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like Ninja House would make a good like 80s college kind of drama movie, you know?
I could see that. They'd be the pranksters. The samurai house would be very uptight.
Right.
Yeah, pirate house would be, I don't know, their friends. We could write this. Let's see here. What do we got? I keep forgetting I have a parry too. I should try that out at some point, but robot. That's the thing about this game. You get so many moves that it's so hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah. That was stupid of me. I saw that like square too as I ran over it, but
Yeah, samurai house would definitely be the jocks.
I saw that wall move. Ah. So long, Patty.
Alright, see ya.
Oops. Well, that's the rules.
But,
All right.
hello.
Spirono's in.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
You interrupted our conversation about Japanese.
I'm sorry, you were right in the middle of another conversation.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, man.
We're just discussing, because she mentions that she lived in Japan, we were discussing Japan.
The language.
Nihongo.
Manga.
That's one thing that's interesting, actually, about the languages, that Japanese has a distinction between the language and the people. You know, Nihongo. But
Oh, yeah.
English
yeah.
doesn't. English is just English. You don't know if it's English people or...
Yeah, exactly. No, it is interesting. Japanese in general, I like a lot, and I like to because I'm like, you know, I have like a kanji app or whatever that I've been doing for a few years. I'm on level 42, and
oh, sick.
And yeah, but like, it's very interesting to like learn a language that's extremely like very divorced from your own, because like you learn a lot about like linguistics and like English too and things like that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that completely. It's...
Bye. Let's bring in Valley Forged.
Yep.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. A little annoyed at this frame drop because I'm gonna have to have the Optim or the guy back, whatever. And you know.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, it's true. It might just be an off night too.
Well, yeah, it is a Sunday, so maybe more people are just on tonight.
You know what? Actually, I am doing one stupid thing, is that I'm not doing a wired connection, which I usually don't have to. Actually, like I'm usually wireless and doing okay, but you know.
But yeah, sometimes that wired connection just reduces the amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing? What did I interrupt? We were talking. I feel bad for Spironito.
No, we weren't. We were talking a little bit about what I'm doing. Cause I'm also, before I joined, I was also doing a little bit of homework for one of my classes. So civilian military operations are enthralling, I can assure you all.
I mean, you know, there are no playing video games on a Sunday night, you know, but you know, I gotta tell you, I really got to do a video about this movie. I saw this great movie with my wife last night called Malicious.
Ooh, okay.
It's really bad. It's like terrible. It's a horror movie. I don't want to spoil it, but I will say it's the ghosts or the monsters or whatever in the movie are caused by, it's like this couple, and the wife's sister gives her a demonic box she picked up at like a trade, like a little like estate sale,
okay,
as a housewarming gift. And the husband is a college professor, allegedly, of like he's teaching like a linear algebra course, and he writes like E equals MC squared on the whiteboard, and he goes, I know this isn't a physics class, but this is the equation that shows you matter cannot be created or destroyed, just like the equations in this class. Like, what? And
okay.
Yeah, it had a lot of lines like that. It kind of opens on the main characters too, like in a car together, and the wife goes like, so 1 + 1 is 2. He's like, that's right. She goes, I knew you were smart. Like, I'm sorry. And that's like a running theme. Like toward the end when they resolve they're gonna do a thing to face the monster, the one goes like, so 1 + 1 is 2, right? Or sometimes it isn't, and he goes like, you've shown me that could be the case. Like, it's like just really, like, all the dialogue is bad. It's like just awful. It reminds me like kind of a more competent The Room, you know, where like it almost doesn't feel like the dialogue was written in English English originally, but then at least this time somebody was around to be like, no, this sounds a little awkward. We have to at least make it like that, you know.
Yeah, it's like this is not something someone who speaks English would actually say,
right?
Kind of thing. Oh man! As soon as you said, the 1 + 1 = 2.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me, chat. I knew this guy back in high school who had a T-shirt that said 2 + 2 equals 5 for very high values of 2. So as soon as you said that, that was like my mind just went to this guy's T-shirt.
What is that? What is that joke? It's a math joke, right? Or
It has to be. I cannot say I am any good at math, so.
damn, now I'm gonna be thinking about that. But all right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Now the biggest
Just
issue. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. So did the sister know she gave
Nah.
her? She didn't. Okay.
Nah, she's just an idiot. She's like kind of a jerk character in the whole thing, basically. Then
Okay.
the guy is when the guy is like doing his math class, there's a blind guy in the audience, and the blind guy is like the head of the math, like his boss, I guess, head of the math department or whatever.
Okay.
And they get along. But it turns out later on, when they realize there's like a problem with like a monster or demon or something, that there's a spiritual like somebody, like a medium or somebody who like understands that kind of stuff in the movie, and then or that they want to seek out at the college. But it turns out it's the same guy. And then so the family, the husband and wife move into this new house, and there's a landscaping, like this kid, he's like, working with his shirt off and all that stuff. And like,
Okay.
it turns out he's a student in the guy's class, but he knows that before he's been to class, which is a little odd, but okay. But then it turns out he's also the assistant of the spiritual guy / math dean or department head or whatever. So it's like, they didn't really have like the actors, they're the people they wanted to fill these roles in the movie, so they had to like double up and like kind of write it in.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Because the way you're describing it sounds like that student should have been an undergrad, but if he was an assistant, that typically means he's a graduate student at the least.
Yeah. Oh, he's not like a TA teaching assistant though. He helps him with like exorcisms and stuff. So maybe you're right though. Maybe he is like, I don't know. I'm not really sure.
That's apparently his other side job is assistant to exorcisms.
Yeah, why not, It's a good way to like earn money like if you were in college or whatever and you see those like make like $60 an hour from home, ask me how, and it's like exorcisms is actually what those jobs are, it turns out. But
if only I'd known. I mean, could have started saving up a ton of money in college just doing some of those exorcisms.
It's on Netflix if anybody's interested. It's not a good movie, but I thought it was really funny, My wife like is scared of everything, so she like had to stop watching at some point, even though it was like kind of a this
It doesn't sound like it would have been that scary.
It's not at all. There's like a couple of like flash game kind of scary moments of like, like little jump scares with like, oh, here's a person, but they've got black eyes and a black mouth,
Gasp.
And they're growling at you, Ooh, that was kind of it. Yeah. It's not a Rise 6, yeah, exactly.
I mean, I do agree that there are some graduate students that do have to perform exorcisms just to, make ends meet for that week, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like look down my nose at anyone who had to do exorcisms just for some, just to pay like their tuition or whatever, Good for you. Okay. I got a spider fell on me.
oh, there we go. Now I see it.
That's no good.
That actually looks like the spiders that occasionally would come into my house.
Yikes. That's just branches. Now I have to look. See, now this stinks. I have to look for like spiders on the ceilings too, or just on the ground even. Let's see here.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I hadn't seen any egg sacs or anything like that while you were playing previously, so.
Who's up there? Who's shooting at me? There's a guy with a cannon. Let's see.
Oh shoot, yeah.
That felt good. Wait, who saw me?
What I do find interesting about this game and Sekiro is how they've adapted like the muskets and these really old style guns into the games. Like it feels right and it feels good.
Yeah,
without
right.
necessarily being cheesy. Yeah.
Agreed. Alright, got him too. So I think we're at the boss or mini boss or whatever. Ninja. Oh, no, still fuck it. Let's pop with a weapon.
Alright.
I don't think I even needed it, but hell, we got it. Beautiful. Forge a blade, cut it, capable of reaching Nobunaga's throat. Well, you won't get to, you're dead. That's another mission down. This time in the ninja house.
Yep. Yeah,
Got any-
fossilized Rappy here saying that they use a general garden spider appearance.
Ah.
I could see that. I will say they get pretty good size, at least out in Japan, probably in other parts of the world too, but they're really pretty spiders. I just didn't want them in my house.
Ooh, I got a title called Rich Samurai. Nice. Okay. What we got? The Okahazama incident's up next, it looks like, just going left to right. Fortunately, Owari province being by yokai near Okahazama. Alright. Lots of yokai, apparently.
Alright, well, let's go kill some yokai.
I'm down. Oh, is this the same dried grass level again? Because they keep saying that ancient one, but now it's in moonlight, so it's probably gonna be filtered blue, maybe. Oh, look at that, we can level up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right, this is working out.
Right. So looks like I'm about a second or two behind. What is your current level?
87.
87. Okay.
Go to spirit. All right, next level. Now make that 88 actually. All right, so.
Because I remember when you were doing another Twilight mission where you had the wheel monks and the lost souls. Like they were. Doc was saying you were pretty underleveled for that.
Yeah, that was. I forget what level that was. That was actually we did that mission today, but the non-Twilight version.
Okay.
Yeah, I did with Patty, I think. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it ended up being not so bad. Ooh. Okay, I took a bad hit there, but I got 8 elixirs, so.
So you're doing pretty well.
Okay. I'm gonna stance. I didn't recognize though. All right. Who saw me? Uh-oh. Music changed. Oh, Revenant. Alright.
All of a sudden, I feel like we're in Doom with Revenants and Lost Soul.
Yep. Alright, let me go speedrun.
What?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, wasn't Paddy Beast next?
You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I was gonna be nice to you, but you're right. Okay. Oh wait, Patty Bees is gone now. Patty Bees, do you want back in? Alright, Patty Bees is gone.
Yeah.
Felt that was in there so long. I'll stop.
I like Paddy Beast. That was the first time I've spoken to him, but he's nice.
Aw, thanks. I'm glad. I'm glad people are making friends in the Discord. What it's there for. That and promoting me.
You're very important.
Well, I like to think so.
You did invent Let's Play.
And yes. And Police Not. Let's not forget Police Not. Let's talk about all my great accomplishments. I also 100%ed. No, I'm kidding. Right. So the good news is we do have. What the hell? Let's pop it. Killed me last time, so no need to go fighting fair. And he's actually surviving pretty. Oh wow. Okay, we're not even killing the living weapon. This is a pretty good revenant.
I might be leaving quick again.
I'm sorry, say again?
I might be leaving quick again.
Ah, ducked my bullet, too. Wow. Gulping a... What the... Gulping elixir. There we go.
That was weird.
Now he's down.
Nice. I saw that, the spin he did. So, are those like other players' gear and then AI opponent sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly right. Yeah, and like sometimes there are like revenants that are based on like the developers or whatever. Like there's some that like you can typically pop a revenant yourself at those like red graves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But also like sometimes the game will be like, no, we're gonna do that for you. Yeah. Or for 300 bits or $3, you can do that yourself. Chat. Wow. Okay, so now we got little mini Unibozus here. Okay. Guys. Okay. Yeah. Alright then.
You know what, this game, like, I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
But the amount of designs from Japanese folklore that they've added to this game is really admirable, not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah,
those... Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, I'm basically done.
Okay. What don't you like about it?
It's the arcadey feel of the combat, like, even just showing damage numbers. I know it sounds petty, like, showing damage numbers annoys me, but it just doesn't have the same feel and the same atmosphere of a From Software game, but it's trying to very much replicate the combat. And honestly, I don't like the combat of From Software games. I like the atmosphere, you know?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for you, you better just get fucking good or else, because then otherwise you're not going to enjoy the atmosphere, bucko.
I complained about a few of the bosses in Sekiro, and there's been so many people who said to me, just get good and all that. It's like, it doesn't matter, I beat the boss, it's still a shit boss.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far in the game, so I can't, like, but I've complained about this, I think in others, but I really think Chained Ogre's a miss. Like, I can't stand that mini boss.
I think it shouldn't be that early in the game, maybe. But
I can see that.
I like how brutal the boss is, and I like its animations and all that. I don't think. Do you mind like minor spoils?
No, that's fine.
There's another one later in the game, and fighting him the second time, I beat him first try. You know, I didn't have any problems with him. So I don't think it's that he's particularly hard or he's particularly poorly designed. I just think he's the first taste of, like, you know, you have to actually be good at the game to beat him.
My thing is, like, I feel like a lot of the games is, like, get really intense, like, move counters and up in enemies' faces and all that, but then you have him, and it's, like, it's more like, okay, just dodge, then hit where you can and stuff, but, you know, I don't know, it's not
okay, so this is a big problem with the game. The tutorial is terrible. Like, the tutorial is absolutely awful. Not only does it lie to you about deflects, it says that deflects will not reduce your posture meter in the tutorial, which is really false. They don't break your posture. You will never go into a posture break, but they will put you up to 100%, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But the tutorial also says that attacking enemies stops their posture from recharging, and that puts you in the mindset of the fact that you always have to be attacking enemies. But that's not true. If you or the enemy is attacking, their posture doesn't recharge. So if the enemy is doing an attack, it's okay if you're not attacking them, because their posture isn't recharging. It's when they're standing about. If they stand about for like a second or something like that, I think it changes based on their health bar. But if they stand about for like a certain amount of time, that's when their posture starts recharging. But if they're just constantly attacking, their posture will never start recharging. So the game puts you in this mindset where you always have to be aggressive. But when you just don't, you can beat every boss in the game by just blocking, probably.
Funnily enough, too, like Lady Butterfly, I actually felt like I was doing better when I was just trying to just stay the fuck away from a lot of her attacks and like interrupt where I could and all that. You know, I haven't beaten her yet, but like I did pretty well. But you know, that said, yeah, and I like the games a lot and stuff, and I do like the combat generally. Speaking of like the Souls games and such, because it's like sort of these weighty kind of duels and things like that, and Bloodborne and all that. But yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like it tends to attract. I don't even know if you really call them like fans per se, but like it tends to attract this mindset of like the game can't be wrong, you are, because it's like very fair in its difficulty and challenging in other aspects. And it's like, because even like the easy mode stuff, like I like a couple people I noticed were like, yeah, but you know, you can't just, you have to like balance an easy mode and do that. It's not just throwing it in. But that said, like there's like quite a lot of balance misses in Souls games. Like I mean, all of like, you know, Lost Izalith, the Demon Ruin stuff from Dark Souls is like just total like nonsense, you know.
Yeah, so I'm in a weird place on the easy mode thing. I think the difficulty in a game like that shouldn't be used for the sake of difficulty. Dark Souls did this very well, where certain areas were easier than others to make them feel more or less threatening, you know. Bloodborne does it as well to a certain extent, but not quite as well. And Sekiro definitely has the strangest difficulty. Now, I don't want an easy mode straight up for one reason, and I saw you on Twitter actually. I think retweet or like something from someone. And I replied to them saying that it lessens the impact of beating a boss even on a high difficulty, if an easy mode exists for me. And this is completely subjective, you know, and I want as many people to be able to enjoy the game as possible, but I don't want the game to be lessened just so they can enjoy it. And that's obviously not an inclusive opinion, but that's how I feel. You get what I mean?
Fair.
It sucks that people with disabilities, you know, struggle more to beat it, but at the same time, it would ruin a lot of people's experiences if the easy mode was in it.
I mean, but couldn't you just not play the easy mode?
For me, personally, an easy mode existing lessens the experience of beating it even on a high difficulty. That's just me personally, but I think if you could switch to easy mode anytime, maybe once you were locked into a harder difficulty, you were locked into a hard difficulty, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the final boss, I spent like 2 hours fighting it.
Yeah.
And one, I don't really see how you could make that boss have an easy mode, to be completely honest.
Okay.
But if an easier version of that boss, if I could switch to an easier version of that boss, it would have got me, I don't know, I think it would have changed my look at that boss at the time. Like, I would have approached that boss differently. Maybe I would have resorted to cheese or something like that. But there wasn't the mentality of, all you can do is get good, you know. All you can do is learn the boss fight.
Fortunately, You're out of here.
Oh, see ya.
Yeah. What do you go? I won't counter that point just because I feel bad because he's not here or whatever, you know. But it's interesting, you know. Look, it's good to get that point of view, you know. Personally, you know, I am more proponent of easy mode personally because it's like I'm one of those people, like, you know, I'm never gonna play easy mode, but like, because I do prefer, you know, the challenge. Except, I mean, with the exception of Resident Evil 2 and the.
No, I agree. I think you need to have an easy mode there for people who enjoy playing games but just might not be that good because they can't dedicate the time, or they just, for whatever reason, are just never going to be that good at a video game.
I mean, yeah, like, you know, I would love for my wife to experience things like I always say it, I don't want to spoil it in Sekiro, but there's a very cool, like, there's a very cool set piece that's like, it involves the snow and Palanquin, and I like it a lot, but like, you know, she'll never get there, not in a million years. But it's a shame because I think she would really like that, like the tenseness of it, and like, it doesn't even have to. That's not even a difficult section of the game. But even just getting there is just not possible. And that alone, it's like, okay, whatever. But then, yeah, when you bring in like, okay, well, actually, like, you know, I mean, like, I kind of treat Half Coordinated like an expert because he is like a speedrunner who, you know, can not play games with both of his hands. He is like, you know, he only has, I think, it's use of one hand when he's playing the game. So, you know, he's kind of I kind of defer to him as being sort of an expert on it. So, I don't know. But listen.
Yeah.
As long as people are giving me money, all opinions are valid. Okay. Nah.
As long as you're getting paid, you know, you're just gonna
Yeah.
keep going at whatever difficulty they tell you.
If Spirano subscribes, then I will personally yell at someone who's no, I'm kidding, I won't do that, but you know. It depends on the game, yeah. You know, it's funny, I saw somebody on Twitter, it's like, I always pick hardest difficulty, which is like tricky because I feel like some developers, like, they'll add things, or like, you can almost appreciate what's like has been added. It's kind of like when you do the Twilight, it was like this like last thing when we did the Twilight mission and there's like 2-1 Yudo there that there weren't before, and it's almost like neat to see the differences.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was that
I
about?
guess I guess what I appreciate too is when games don't make you feel bad or treat you like a child for going to lower difficulties. Because I know there are some games, and I'm thinking of when they remade Wolfenstein back at the start of this current generation. Like the easy mode, it's BJ in like literally a baby bonnet and a pacifier, because it's like, oh, you're a baby if you have to go to easy mode, and it's really insulting for a game that can be very difficult if you don't have the time to really
accessibility should be
engage with
industry
it.
standard. Also, hey, trans rights.
Sorry, by the way, thank you for subscribing, Jaximus. What do you call it? Sorry, I was in the middle of reading their comment where you're saying, yeah, no, I hear you, like when like easy mode kind of shames you or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind like things like their visual indicators. Like in Sekiro, there is actually like a hard mode per se, like a thing you can do to makes the game more difficult, and will add some kind of visual effect. And I think probably more like positive reinforcement, like, hey, you're on hard mode, here's a thing, rather than, hey, you're on easy mode, what's wrong with you, kind of thing, is probably the better way to go about that. And it is interesting though, I will say in Sekiro's like a point in the Sekiro's favor is actually all the controls, like every last move in it is remappable, which is a big thing for accessibility, you know.
Yeah.
And also, like, I also feel like an interesting point for the argument, which about how it's like the developer's intention or whatever, because there's also that aspect where it's like, well then, I guess don't remap controls, because that's like, you know, that was something they designed around in theory and all that. But
Well, yeah, but again, at the same time, accessibility. It's like, what if you have, again, like access to one of your hands is not as good as the other, or you, or for whatever reason, you need to be able to remap those controls, and the developer's like, no, this is how it's intended to be played. It's like, well, now you've made this game that I'm interested in completely inaccessible to me.
Mm-hmm. It's just you know, I was kind of interested in the notion too of like lessening the experience for other. Oh, by the way, thanks for the raid, NY Snark Exchange. We're talking about. Oh, and by the way, and yes, trans rights. The Jacksons mentioned that in their comments as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. They're human rights. What are you gonna do? I mean, anyway. So what do you call it? But thank you for the raid. I do appreciate that raid. What do you call it? What were we talking about? Hard mode, video games, you know, all that stuff. Listen, I play life on hard mode, okay? That's when I go to a... No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
God. Yeah, it's an interesting point. Like, it's an interesting topic, I guess, but, you know. Let's see here. We got more ninjas. I killed these ninjas already. Oh, dear. So,
So I have to ask, so with Dark Souls 2, they added the mechanic where if you killed the enemies enough, they would just disappear from an area. Do you think that was good or a poor design decision?
Huh. That's a good question, honestly. Well, it's funny, too, because, hey, by the way, Digital Basic, thank you for increasing your pledge to patreon.com/slowbeef. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. So that's like an interesting thing too, right? Because you do have these sort of like mechanics in the Souls games too, which are renowned for being hard, that you kind of can't do in Sekiro, like summon. Or yeah, like you say in Dark Souls 2, I'd forgotten about that. If you kill enemies 10 times, you can sort of clear out an area, you know? So yeah, that's a good point. Does that count? You know, is that like part of it, or you know? I don't know.
Because I've seen two arguments. On the one hand, you can make an area easier for yourself if you go through and clear them out.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, if you do that and then you don't go and level up or something like that and you lose your souls, you have completely lost the souls from that area and you can never grind that area again.
That's fair, right? Yeah, that's true. But if an area is giving you a lot of trouble, and I don't remember if I did this or not, but like you can also say like, you know what, running back to the boss, that one ogre or whatever is giving me a problem. Let me just grind that so I don't have to do it. It hurt, you know. I can make this easier for myself, you know. So like,
yeah.
what I'm not really understanding too, and even to try to be a bit like empathetic toward the whole like notion of like, hey, it kind of hurts my experience to be able to easy mode past this boss is like, so, you know, does that count then? Where like if somebody said like I had to summon to beat Ornstein and Smo, and then you go like, well, does that do it? And I mean that like in a general curiosity way, because I'm sure like there's plenty of people who are like, no, of course not. But I am curious, like, do things like that also kind of do it, or were there things even in the Souls games that might be like too easy for that kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember I had a friend who got stuck on Ornstein and Smo for a really long time because he didn't have an internet connection, so he could never summon anyone to get that assistance. And it's just one of those things. It's like, sure, he probably could have gone off and leveled up his character and everything like that, but that's still taking him out of the area. That's forcing him to change more about his play style than maybe he necessarily needed to just for this one boss encounter. And Drummer saying, I'm probably saying your name wrong, I apologize. Drumore23, that it does cost time and money to add extra features on the developer side, yeah.
Okay, that's true, but that brings me back to my counterpoint though, of like, well, wait a sec, let's not pretend that like the Souls games are these perfectly tuned, balanced games. They're absolutely not. Like, you have
they're not.
The latter half of Dark Souls 1. You have plenty. You have like 40 some odd bosses in Dark Souls 2. You know, three I only played through once. I mean, well, actually I only played through all of them once, but I don't feel like you know, but like you have the Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne. You know what I mean? Like these aren't like perfect, you know, like statues or whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? Like they're not fine. They're great. They have these awesome set pieces, and what works incredibly well. But you know.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, it's the Daughters of Izalith. Like that's just such a bad boss design, and it's hard to tell if it was because they were running out of time or just
like
wasn't a well-made boss.
Or even like Demon Ruins. There's a really lazy part where they copy and paste 5 Taurus demons.
Oh yeah, that
like,
part.
It's bad. I am lost, by the way, 200C. Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of easy mode, I can't figure out how to get to the stupid fucking. Yeah, like Bed of Chaos. You know what? Like that's the weird thing. Bed of Chaos, I think, would even be a little better if the checkpoint was closer to Bed of Chaos, because you have to go through a little bit of Lost Izalith with the lava, climb up the thing, run by a few like pretty tough to run by enemies, slide down the thing, and then there's the insta-kill pits everywhere. So every time you lose, it's like an extra like 5 minutes of transit with a chance of you not even making it there. Mm-hmm. And you know, it doesn't seem like that's like a balancing. It just seems like a pain in the ass kind of deal, you know. So like,
agreed, yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like, you know what, if we were gonna trade Bed of Chaos for an easy mode, like yeah, I'll do that. I'll make that trade, which is a totally unfair kind of comparison, but you know, I'd still make that trade.
It'd be a good trade. It's a good trade.
Granted, of course, it's a good trade when the terms are very acceptable to you.
Yeah, very true.
Right. Like even like the Copper Demon Room, I feel like those 2 dogs are, I don't know. I mean, that said, what works well. I will never forget the Bell Gargoyle fight. Like, and I know that was kind of a recycle of Maneater, but still. All right, I gotta ask an expert of this game where the fuck I'm going, because I don't know. I've been trying to follow the left. Oh, there we are. Never mind. I found something that I hadn't found before.
Okay.
There. I don't. This is a little silly living weapon to do these 2 ninja loops, but you know what? Screw it. I don't want to have to redo all that again.
Okay. Yes, the rooftops of Orlando are pretty terrible too.
Is that the one with all like the Black Knights, basically, if I remember? And they're like in weird locations, and they have.
Yeah, the Silver Knights, and you're having to precisely move up around. Mm-hmm. If I'm remembering Silver Knight archers, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't mind them at first, but then they did kind of like do a lot of that. What? I think I threw up because I've got like that. Oh yeah, I have this shit status effect.
Oh, that's literally what it is.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like I guess like not the name, but like your elixirs do less damage, you know.
Okay.
It's a tricky thing though too, because I think like for some people also it's like a feeling that they get from it, which is like it's hard to articulate things like that, you know. So it's like it's tough to like kind of engage with in that level, in the sense of like, you know. Like,
it is true, yeah. There is absolutely this sense of accomplishment when you've beaten something that's taken you a really long time to do it. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, if it's taking you 10, 20, 30 times to beat something, is it just you, or is it maybe that the boss isn't a great design, or is it maybe you're not at that level for that particular boss?
So, and the interesting thing to me then is like the question of like, well, what is it that, you know what I mean? Like, so is it that it cheapens the experience if somebody else can do it easily or whatever? Because that's the part I have trouble with, because that for me again is like, again, when I play the Souls games, I like to fight the bosses without summoning at all. Not because I think something is cheap, do whatever you want, but like, there's some people who like have to summon for like Father Gascoigne or whatever, and it's like fine, but like, is that the same thing or is that different? And just as a level of understanding, you know.
I think it's good that they have the option there for you to do that, to where if you want to summon people, you can, because it'll help you out. I know for me, for example, I would probably be summoning people all the time to help me out because I don't have the time to dedicate 3+ hours of my life to a single boss for the most part.
Right.
But maybe other people do, or they just, that fulfillment they get from beating something by themselves is worth far more than their time.
That's the thing. Well, that's the funny thing, because like I definitely don't have time, right? And I definitely, it's funny because like there's certain things even where I'm like, maybe The Witcher 3 is too long, which like I'm sure some people consider blasphemy. But that said, like, there are some games in where I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna get to play it. But like Monster Hunter World, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everyone keeps telling me how great it is and all that, but I just don't have the time for it,
Yeah.
So like
that's like a game you can put in hundreds of hours and still just barely scratch the surface of, right?
Mm-hmm. We can't spend all hours fighting Dark Eater Miter. Is that actually a boss name? That sounds like if you were to parody a Souls game that you'd have Dark Eater somebody in there. But,
Patty B's, you are wrong about Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is the perfect length.
That's actually, it's funny too, because that is an issue for me, because I'm like, I should get into Breath of the Wild for real, but it's so long, and I have so much to do, and then I very stupidly got like, hey, you know what I should do is I should platinum a bunch of PlayStation games.
That is true, you decided to platinum stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't find Breath of the Wild that long, but I was also using a guide, because I don't find that cheating. I'm like, look, this is what I want to do, and yes, I'll use a guide, and so it was about 70 hours of gameplay for me.
There's another tricky one, right? Like, yeah, guides and stuff, right? Like, because certainly I think people do Google, like, bosses and things like that. Meteor is a Souls boss with a checkpoint? I totally forget that boss. Like, yeah, but, like, right, game facts and things like that? Like, is that, like, a thing, too? And I'm genuinely curious. Like, is that a thing people get mad about where it's, or not mad, but, like, like, hey, it kind of cheapens my experience if someone else can look up how to beat this boss in a guide and not necessarily do it themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I genuinely wonder about that one. Wait, I what Dora Legend? Just give their lives separate kinds. All right, so I gotta find missing companions. Meteor is the second DLC. Oh, Dark Souls 3 you're talking about. I didn't do any of the Dark Souls 3 DLC. That's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not. I've watched a bunch of like speed runs of Dark Souls 3. I'm very bad at the Dark Souls games. I have the first one, and have attempted it a few times, but I really like watching them though. I find people who can play through them very well, or even just just having fun playing through them. I really enjoy that from those games.
Sorry, I was also reading, what is this, stamina? I'm sorry, I was just reading, like, what these were all doing and stuff, so, I'll stop.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Targus, yeah, I absolutely agree that the Dark Souls games definitely seem to kind of bring back that really old style of interactions that you used to have, like at your playground or your work, or hanging out at the lunch table with your friends, and like, oh, I'm at this boss, or oh, I'm in this area, I can't figure this out, and like, well, I'm here too, I did this, and
Oh yeah, and it's funny, like, cause yeah, like the internet like fundamentally changes that. Cause I remember back in the day with Castlevania, actually, I don't know if you know that guy Goblin 215, like you might have seen him in chat or whatever, who's my old like trade school friend, who like we used to play video games all the time, and he happens to like get into streaming and let's play and things like that, and we hadn't talked in like years and stuff, and then like, what do you call it? So anyway, yeah, but like he, like with Castlevania, we used to talk about it all the time because like Grim Reaper was really hard and things like that, and like try to figure out how to do that stuff. It was really, what do you call it? Really interesting that way.
yeah, I agree. Like, I would do it with a friend of mine who in Pokemon, the original one. But I also, in a way, kind of cheated with Pokemon because my the internal battery for my game decided to die, and so I sent that out to to Nintendo, and it came back with 100 Pokemon on it.
Are you serious?
Not a joke. They gave me Mewtwo. They gave me a whole bunch of the super rare Pokemon, and I all of a sudden was now the envy of everyone at school.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, because I might have missed part of that story. I just in chat. Why did you send it back to Nintendo in the first place?
So it turns out that the original Game Boy games would have internal batteries inside of them that recorded your save, and it died in mine. So I had one save, and that was it, and then it couldn't save anymore. And I loved Pokemon, had played all the time, and yeah, sent it in, and all of a sudden I get it back like a couple weeks later, and there's 100 Pokemon.
That's pretty nuts, actually.
It was. As I said, I was kind of the envy of my friends who all played it. They're like, they did what for you? They did what? And I'm like, yeah. That wasn't my copy of the game. You know what? It probably wasn't. But you know what? The copy they sent me had 100 Pokemon, so I didn't care. I was about 10 years old, so you know it was fantastic.
I'm concentrating on a Revenant, even though I am spamming light attacks until it runs out of stamina.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
My OG, yeah, that battery. It was funny because and back in the day, the other thing we used to do too is write down those passwords. You know, those really, yeah. My favorite being the one from Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake that's like 108 letters long. But those like those Metroid passwords, and you have to write them down a certain way so you can know if it was 0 or capital O or anything like that. You just lose all that progress if not.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking for Golden Sun, if you were trying to retrieve your game data.
Oops.
That one was a really long password too. I can't remember how long it was.
I actually never played Golden Sun. Or no, that's a lie. I did play Golden Sun. I just never finished it. Faxanadu passwords. Yeah, I kind of remember Faxanadu.
Yeah, Golden Sun 2 was really long, and neither one of them seems like they've aged particularly well, at least from my perspective. But
Your character password, holy shit. What do you call it? Yeah, and Doc did stream them recently.
okay.
So if anybody's interested to see if they held up, did Shadow Hearts recently, I think too. But
It took him half an hour to put in the code. I think that says more than anything else right there.
all right, so this mission has us rescuing Kodama basically, which is great because Kodama are great.
The Kodama are great. They are lovely little things.
They are. I don't know if there's anything else up here. If I just screwed up or not, too. I wonder how the PC version of Nioh plays, also. Like, I imagine it looks a lot, better and stuff, or higher res, at least. But, all I got... yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, that probably would be interesting, because...
Oh. Get rid of...
I'm trying to think of how this would play with the keyboard and mouse, yeah.
I can't imagine playing this whole any sort of third-person melee action kind of game with a keyboard and mouse personally, but without a gamepad. But funnily enough, I'm doing a weird claw thing right now where my hand, I'm using my the side of my index finger against the X button and my thumb on the right DualShock stick or whatever. But yeah, Dectalon somehow does it. Yeah, Dectalon also plays fighting games with keyboard, which I kind of understand in the sense of if you do the quarter circle motions on a keyboard, they seem much more intuitive because it's press one, hold one button, hold both buttons, hold the other button, you know? But then there's stuff like do a 360 where I'm like, that seems difficult, you know? So maybe I won't.
Fighting games I could see with a keyboard. Just because it's not that dissimilar from an old style arcade.
Yeah.
Obviously without the stick, but...
Right. Alright, I am totally lost track of where I should be going here. I'm just trying to... I'm doing follow the left wall strategy, which, you know...
Can sometimes work and can also sometimes just make you more lost.
Yep. Yeah, and it got me back to where I was. And...
Okay.
Alright, that didn't work. Daigo parry with the keyboard. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you keep ending up at that watchtower.
Yeah, and I think I'm done with the watchtower. Officially.
Okay, Patty B's. Which fighting game though? That's the key question. Which fighting game do you want to learn how to play?
I very stupidly was considering Garo, even though that's like the oldest game. Because it's funny, I was talking to Ty about it at MacFest, and he was like, "Why don't you get into Dragon Ball?" And I'm like, "I feel like I missed the boat on that." I was like, "Maybe Garo," and he's like, "No, man, you definitely missed the boat on Garo. That's like old." You know, I'm like, "Yeah, no, I know, but." Skullgirls. Skullgirls is good. I've heard Skullgirls. Well, no, I played Skullgirls in a tournament. I sucked at it, but you know.
From the very brief bit of gameplay I've seen with the Dragon Ball Z game, it seems like there's a lot of really tight timing that
There we are.
once you know how to do it, you're golden. But
Here we go. Now I found the place. And there's a Kodama in. No, there's a chest in here. Whatever.
okay.
Skullgirls is amazing if you like Touch of Death gameplay. Well, I do kind of. I like watching Touch of Death gameplay. I don't think I like actually doing it, truthfully. You know about that, like where you get those like 100% combos basically that you can't drop.
So I'm actually not that big into fighting games. I will trust you on that. What that means.
It's basically like an infinite loop combo, or a combo that like the other player, like once they're caught in, they actually can't get out so long as you don't like fuck up doing it.
Okay.
I think you would like in a lot of cases consider it a bug, really, but like I don't know, and like so the idea being like once you've done that, you've kind of won the match, you know? Yeah, infinites, exactly. A juggle with a reset. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But like there's some games like that. There's like the Fist of the North Star games. There's a lot of really like kind of easy sort of juggles like that, apparently, you know, things like that. But
oh man, in a Fist of the North Star game, I can't imagine.
yeah, but if you there's a really great Twitter, even if you're not into fighting games, it's pretty great, called Dino Please, like DNO and then PLS, I believe, and he posts like weird glitches and Touch of Death combos in fighting games, and like there's like one that's great, and like it's like so Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy has a pretty good air throw, and they show like Scorpion air throw somebody, and he throws him in the air, but then jumps up and air throws him again, and just does that over and over because they didn't like check for that or anything. So basically he gets like a Touch of Death combo by just doing an air throw, which throws the guy up into the air, then jumps and does the air throw again and again and again. Or like there's one move for Samurai Showdown 2, like if you're guarding it like this, it'll lock up the game because there's too many hits being processed and stuff. It's like really kind of neat stuff. Like again, if you're not into fighting games, it's like kind of like there's funny like animations and shit out of it. Like, yeah, I would recommend.
Yeah, the Spirantino just posted a link to it.
Yes. Spirano's here, but we also have Eggman and Rars. And see who got it. Let me try Eggman.
Yeah, pretty good.
Eggman.
Hey.
Hey,
this
how
is
are you?
Grumpy Grimwald.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Cool. What would you prefer to go by in this chat, by the way?
I don't care. Whatever.
All right then.
It does not matter. So, I see you're trying to help some Kodama here.
Apparently I am. Yeah. I need to Help out some Kodama pals.
I mean, I'm all for that. So.
Me too. Yeah, it's like the purest thing you can do in this game. Like, William may have come to Japan to kill, but, you know, he's gonna save some Kodamas. We're gonna make him a reluctant hero yet. I'm also, like, it's funny because I was, like, so over-leveled to the previous ones that I'm just, like, kind of content with, like, just mashing the shit out of everybody right now.
Yeah, I got that way in this game eventually, where once I had gotten, like, I did all of the DLC stuff, all of that, and by the end of it, because it was just so much, this game gives you so much to do, I would just mash my way through all these lower level missions after I had done all of that and was like level 200 or whatever. Yeah.
It might be the way to have gone about this, but...
I mean, this is probably more fun because you can actually die, but... But, there's a satisfaction to just being able to, like, one-shot everything.
Absolutely. Ooh, dear. Alright, Rurse, you're in. Alright. I lost a bunch of...
You want the soul?
Bunch of Amrita.
Hey, Beef.
Hey, how are you?
I just got off work.
Nice.
Surprised me, man, to not have a jerk customer for today.
Congratulations.
The person covered my break, unfortunately, got one.
Ah. That stinks, but, yeah.
How was that cookie cake you made earlier today?
That was, that's actually, soda bread. Irish soda bread, and it was delicious. It actually...
That's good.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Irish soda bread in general, but I've never made it before. And, what do you call it? What's frustrating is I'm kind of on a diet, too, so, like, I can't really, eat it. Sorry, there was a Raven Tengu.
Oh.
Hey, welcome back.
Funnily enough, I was just talking about when I was in here, and how I ruffled a few feathers.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's good. I'm aware that my opinion is
bullshit. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Like it's all right to completely disagree with it, because I can understand, like, if you think that it depends what side of the fence you're on. There was actually one last thing that I was meant to say, but I didn't. Is it all right if I bring it up?
Absolutely, please.
If the difficulty is part of the experience, at what point, like, at what line on the gradient of, you know, accessibility to difficulty, does the game lose its intended purpose? Like, at what point doing that? Do you get what I mean? Like,
totally.
If it's meant to be hard, if the developers have intended the difficulty to be part of the experience, at what point there can the developer stop it? You get what I mean?
Right. Well, I wonder then too that if we talk about specifically from like an accessibility standpoint, I'm talking about like people who are actually disabled and can't play the game possibly as intended, right? Then I would say, like, well, is there a notion too of, okay, you can't get the intended experience, but at least you can get something as opposed to just absolutely nothing, you know?
Yeah, I can understand that. I actually would be more inclined by a mode that completely removes the difficulty of it. I know that sounds weird considering all the things I've said, but if you completely remove if you find the gameplay too hard, remove the gameplay and just keep the story. Now, Sekiro with just the stories kind of sucky, so that's a bad example. No, go on.
I was gonna say it's interesting because there is a mod of Alien Isolation which I didn't understand at all. That removes the alien, right? And like, because it's like, what the hell is the point? Although I kind of appreciate it in a way because the station in the game is actually really interesting and has all this stuff, but you can't really examine it. Although I don't know if that's really more of a shortcoming of the devs or what. But it's funny, no, because on my level too, I do understand, like, I'm okay with like it's interesting that way because it's like, yeah, I didn't really get a mode that would just remove it, but people apparently want it because that mod exists and it's not like super. It's like kind of popular, you know. What do you call it? I was curious too about like that. Well, actually, I mentioned I was curious about, but yeah, it's interesting to say like too that like okay, a mode that like removes all the difficulty altogether, you know. Yeah, in Sekiro, but like yeah, or maybe would that be a similar thing in Sekiro if like let's say I don't know you had like a mode. Oh, there's a fucking Kadama right there. That is my least favorite gameplay thing is when they give you like an object you have to get to like right on a little cliff.
Yeah.
And you have to like.
Yeah, that annoys me so much. There's one of those in Sekiro where you can see where the item is, and you know you can get there, but you can just barely not jump high enough. Oh, bloody hell, nearly died there. And you can't grab the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it just infuriated me so much. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
So you know what bugs me about Nioh 2, by the way, just to bring up something else that's completely different, or whatever. Whenever you get an item, there's a very subtle dark box they put the item in, which is really hard to notice if you're not like staring at your screen intently, or streaming a lot of it.
Oh, shit, yeah, I see that.
But what's funny is, whenever that's happened, I'm playing on an old LCD TV, and I'm like, ah, crap, I must have left it, like, something on with that. Like, it looks like one of those errors, but it's not.
Oh, that's really weird, actually. It doesn't seem to have a reason to be there, which is really strange.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think there was one game, I can't remember which one it was, but it added a story mode which removed like all the combat or something. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Well, if it's other RAM, that's a little unfair, but no, I'm joking. But
I didn't hear that.
I said if it was other RAM, that's a little unfair, but no.
No,
I know you're
I can't remember what game it was, but there was a big uproar because it was like, oh, you know, these people, they didn't want to make a game or something like that. And it's like, yeah, you can make a medium, a game, and a movie at the same time, essentially. You know, that's fine. It's no longer a game. It's true, but at least it's a movie, you know?
Right.
You've essentially just removed one component to turn it into a completely other medium, and that's fine.
And I think there are like kind of very hard to like nail down issues because you do talk about things like how pacing changes when you have something that's like, you know, X amount, like 60 hours long versus like 2, you know, and how long you've quote unquote been with a character, even if it is just like gameplay stuff, you know, that kind of thing. But
yeah, I prefer my time to be well spent. So, and there are games that have been really short that I've had.
Yeah, I bet there have. Speaking of time well spent, you're out of here. Up next, we got Valley Forged.
Okay, how bad is this boulder? Because the boulder seems to be the big enemy right now.
Actually, I got through the boulder. Sorry, them's the rules. You know how it goes. But
Of course.
Of course.
Radiant Dan, just so you're aware, there are many sailors that cannot swim.
Oh dear. I think part of it is...
It's a very common problem.
I think the biggest issue is, like, he also is wearing, like, probably like 100 pounds in armor or so, you know?
No, probably not.
Oh.
I actually own a set of armor, and it's about 25 pounds.
Oh, well then, yeah. What a baby.
Yeah, obviously, Western style armor runs you a bit more, but Japanese armor is not as heavy as you'd think.
Huh. Interesting. Wait, what kind? You have Japanese armor?
I do. Man, when you're in a weird state of mind, sometimes you spend money on weird stuff, and then you're like, man, I'm gonna wear this stuff.
I don't know what that's about. No, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I have a full set of armor. I've worn it and stuff like that, and yeah, it's about 25 pounds, and it was made using traditional methods and stuff like that, and it is made out of metal and stuff like that too. So it's not being like, well, actually, guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
Yeah, Ava, even a lot of like the great weapons aren't that heavy. We're talking like a heavy weapon is typically about 5 pounds.
By Return of Oberdin. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, no, okay. Oh wait, I think this is the last Kadama.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Are you the last Kadama? Yes. That is the last Kadama, and it's 11:47 p.m. So I think I might actually at least go to. Nah, I should probably call it a night, honestly.
No, you need to be getting to sleep. You got work tomorrow.
Exactly. All right, listen, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thanks for spending the time having neat conversations and everything. I hope country map here, is that everything in Yokai? Nearly everything, but not everything in Yokai. All right, well, anyway, have a good night. Thanks a lot, everyone who joined in, and I'll see you all tomorrow at Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. So take it easy.
Thank you very much for streaming, Beef. Always appreciate it.
Sure thing. Later.